me, your host, Samir. That's right, I'm so happy to see you. Hope you guys are safe and sound and everyone's doing really well. Today we're going to talk about a book which blew me away. I really liked it. I know I say that a lot. But I will be giving so-so reviews coming soon of some books. But before we get to the video and the content, if you could click that like button, I'd really appreciate it. I'd really like that. And if you would also subscribe, that'd be awesome, because it's really important for new channels to get subscribers and to make connections and hopefully, be around for a while. I love to film these videos for you. I love sharing my ideas and thoughts, and I hope you share yours with me. Also, you can tweet us at Heroes Trek. I'd love to hear from you in every way possible. Now, the book we're going to talk about is a Batman book today. I know I'm going to put a link to it right up there, that we were talking about Batman Universe by Brian Michael Bendis, and how that was really good because that was Batman like James Bond. Batman's like a spectrum, right? It's a spectrum character. At this edge of the spectrum, you've got Batman like James Bond. At this, you've got the creature of the night, and then writers have it somewhere in between, where he's full of anguish, or he's sort of anguish, but he knows how to enjoy life, and he's sort of okay. Hey, he's come to terms with everything and he loves adventure, that kind of thing. So this book, what we're going to talk about today is, different than Batman universe. It's not James Bond Batman. It's more like the violent kind of almost the creature of the night Batman, but he's not moping around for the entire story. So don't worry about that. You've got not moping Batman. But this one, this is a big book. This is Batman, the Dark Prince Charming. And that's by Marini. So who is Marini? Marini is a writer and artist, international writer and artist who's best known for his Eagles of Rome comic book. These European graphic novels are really well drawn and written, and usually you have, oftentimes, not to say usually, but oftentimes you have really amazing artwork, writer-artist combo. The guy is the writer, he's the artist as well, and they do a great job of doing both, pulling double duty and doing all of that work. So he has a really good, he's an acclaimed European artist. Now you can tell this is a big book. This is bigger than, say, a Deluxe edition hardcover, which I'm going to just put side by side for a comparison. You can see it's bigger than the Deluxe hardcover. And here's like the DC Black Label books, which have come out recently, and they are like oversized. By the way, the new Batman, Last Night on Earth or something, the new one by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, is standard size for some inexplicable, strange reason. DC has decided to downgrade them to standard size hardcover, or will encourage triple dipping by having the standard size hardcover, Deluxe edition, and Super Deluxe edition, which all collectors must own. So this was actually taller and not as wide though as the recent Harleen, which I'll be reviewing at some point. But let's talk about this book right now. As you can tell from the cover, it's a new vision of the Dark Knight detective. All right. I'm going to read the blurb really quickly because I like to do that to give you an idea. So as if you're perusing in the bookstore or online and you're reading this blurb or having it read to you. Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, but acclaimed European comics master Enrico Marini, the Eagles of Rome, the Scorpion Gypsy, makes his American comics debut with the stunning graphic novel showcasing his unique interpretations of Gotham City's most famous heroes and villains. When a young mother and her daughter appear on Bruce Wayne's doorstep, the famously wealthy playboy is rocked by the news that they bring. Then when the child is suddenly kidnapped by the Joker, Batman must plunge deep into Gotham City's underworld to track her down and foil the clown prince of crime's twisted plan. But what is the secret that connects these archetypal antagonists to the strange and mysterious young girl? And why does her case seem so deeply personal to both of them? And that's the gist of it, right? I mean, somewhere the inner blurb of the flap goes, somewhere out there a little girl is afraid for her life. Where is she, you maniac? And you can tell where Batman is saying this, there's a little girl afraid for her life. I mean, I'm sure you can see the juxtaposition of course Bruce Wayne's character as a little boy scared for his life when his parents were murdered and so on. The book is I like the oversized. I gotta say, the oversized copy is really good. It gets the real, you know, the book fetish side of me going crazy, because it's like a really well designed book, and and the size of it makes the art just come off the page. I mean, and the artwork is really good. We'll get to that in a moment. The inside cover, of course, the front cover, you've got that, is this beautiful mirror of the actual cover, the sleeve, right? I love the fact when they put in little details like putting the bat sign or the signal or the emblem here on the flaps, the front pages, the first few pages. But the book itself, it shines. I mean, it's a story that's very interesting. You can read it a couple of times and get like more out of it. So I would recommend this is one of those books, the more you read, the more you'll notice how much effort Enrico Marini puts into the actual foreshadowing of events. You know, foreshadowing in stories is that things happen in the beginning of the story which lead to events that come up further along in the story. So this foreshadowing, when used by writers, the foreshadowing, you know, it's subtle, because the first time you read through it, sometimes it's not in your face. You don't say, oh my gosh, that's foreshadowing. That's poor writing. You don't want to be like, see the foreshadowing right in your face. You should be subtle, and then when you go back and you read it again, you should notice that, oh hey, yes, this really foreshadows what's going to happen later on, and actually the pivotal surprise is foreshadowed in this book. The gist of it here is that Bruce Wayne, of course, is Batman, as always. You've got the Catwoman in here, and the interplay, of course, between them is always that love, playful love, kind of chase me, catch me if you can kind of thing that continues in this. Then you've got the Joker, who is really written much more. He's not as gangly or as thin as what they show in sometimes the standard DCU. He's more of like this punk rocker kind of look to him, which I'll show you in a moment. And you've got Harley Quinn, of course. But the best character, or one of the best characters in the book, and I have to say, this guy stole the show. And it's hard to do. It's hard to steal the show from characters like Batman and the Joker, is this character right here, standing next to Harley Quinn, and that's Archie the Clown. I don't want to say anything more about Archie the Clown, but his comments and his one-liners throughout the book really make the book fun to read, like really bring a laugh and a smile to the face. I mean, he is such a morose and dark comedy character, but he lets out the zingers, and you just can't help but laugh at him while he makes these comments, the often absurd situations. Remember Archie the Clown when you see this, and I hope, DC, if you're listening, put Archie in the main books, please. That's a great character by Marini. So basically, the basic storyline is that this woman approaches Bruce Wayne and claims that years ago he fathered her daughter, and that the daughter is his. And who is this mystery girl? She has, of course, a Batman doll in her hands, and they show up at the mansion, and you know, her mom explains to him that this is your child, and then, you know, the whole thing, I'm gonna, you know, sue you for alimony, this and that, I'm gonna sue you for, you know, child support and so on. And so there's a dramatic crisis created by Marini. And it's a new wrinkle in the Batman mythos, is that his daughter, no, we're not talking about Damian, he's not in here, this is not part of the DCU, this is kind of like an Elseworlds tale, or you know, one and done, one shot, which I love, of course, as I said in my previous videos. I just want to take a step back. Marini's artwork is really good, and what makes it good is that if you take Jim Lee and Michael Turner and a little bit of Adam Kubert, and you blend it all together in a blender, you kind of get Marini's artwork. He has a style which is, where the main lead characters are very strong. They come off the page as being very strong, and the colors by him as well really are like painted on, making the characters really, in this case, like the Joker, look really evil or twisted, but not weak. Right, he's not the gangly weak that Joker that with one punch will be knocked on the floor laughing until he goes unconscious. This is a Joker that's deadly. You know, like he basically, like for instance, somebody shoots at Batman, and he of course takes a gun and shoots his own henchman and says, "No one shoots the bat until I say it's time to shoot the bat." And so he's definitely unhinged in this. His storyline, see, Batman's storyline is to get to the truth of who the daughter really is. Is it really his daughter, or is it someone else's daughter? And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to spoil it. Joker, in his own twisted way, Marini writes the Joker as at first being like, you know, all he's interested in is pleasing Harley for her birthday and so on. But there's an undercurrent here, something going on with the Joker that you can catch on the second read, where he's kind of manipulating events and doing things from the beginning because he knows the truth of who this little girl is. Like I said, I don't want to spoil this in any way possible, because going into this you don't need any spoilers. Of course, there's Archie the Clown, can't mention enough, and the rest. You know, the artwork is beautiful. I mean, this is one of those books you just go through the pages and you start looking at the artwork and just saying, wow, this is really beautiful, beautiful artwork. But a book with just beautiful artwork and not good story, a good storyline or a really good storyline, is kind of a hollow book, isn't it? Luckily, this book is has a storyline which is tightly written, meaning that it doesn't veer off into tangents or anything like that. It really keeps its focus. Who's this girl? And when the Joker kidnaps that girl, Batman and Bruce Wayne come into play, and he goes nuts. I mean, he's trying to find this girl, and his actions really do lead you to believe that this girl is his daughter, or is she? That's something to keep in mind. And if she's not Bruce Wayne's daughter, whose daughter exactly is she? And so you don't really know. You don't know till the end, and it's very subtle. It's not like this is your daughter. And Marini is wise to not go that route where the ending is like this in your face, this is your daughter thing. It's very subtle, and it's written. The narrative is written in a nice way and ties up in a way that leaves you with a sense of foreboding for the future, but yet hope that maybe Bruce can prevail. And I'll leave it at that. So, Batman. The Dark Prince Charming by Marini is a must-have for your library. If you're trying to build a library and trying to have like quality books in that library, then this is one of those books that is a must-have for that library. Definitely, I'm glad that this is part of mine. That's it for this time, and I hope you enjoyed this video, this quick look at the Batman, the Dark Prince Charming, and that you check it out. If you've already read it, leave a comment below. And also, as I mentioned again, I sound like a broken record, but I have to say it. It's written in my YouTube contract. Click the like button, subscribe. Oh, and also, you can tweet at HeroesTrek. Until the next time, I'm happy to spend this time with you. I hope you guys keep safe, and I will see you real soon. Take care.